Coach, you just saw the assist numbers, the chemistry, and their ability on the floor.
Some of that went to Denver as he works the pick and roll just perfect. You know, they're worried about Giannis and that lob, and he recognized it.
Call as Payne tried to draw the foul. Bates for Davis. Oh, catch. Did hit the switch a little bit early.
What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So yes, sadly, start off with this video with a bunch of injuries, even some more later, but Duke forward AJ Griffin, the freshman, appears to be out for 4 to 6 weeks right now with a knee injury. Luckily it's only 4 to 6 weeks if it's a knee injury. Usually those will last a lot longer and there's a tear, but luckily there doesn't seem to be one. So just a lot of maintenance and just making sure he's prepared and ready to go whenever he's fully healed up. So hopefully that is soon. Then the tight end, freshman tight end for USC football, Michael Trigg, he did get injured in the loss against Utah last weekend. He was doing very well until he got hurt, which sucks. But luckily, according to interim head coach Dante Williams, it doesn't look like it's an ACL tear or any tear of any of the ligaments in the knee, but he will miss some time, as he said. But hopefully they don't try to rush him back or anything, just because knee injuries suck. And if he does come back, because he's a young guy, those muscles aren't that strong, he's gonna most likely tear it and be out even the start of next year. So let's hope that does not happen. Then a couple of Lakers youngsters are injured, which is crazy. There was one older guy getting hurt last video. Now it's two of their younger guys who they were counting on, which one is Talen Horton-Tucker, who I've always said they should have went and kept Alex Caruso, who's doing very well with the Chicago Bulls right now and healthy, instead of this guy. But of course now he has to get thumb surgery, which they didn't put a timetable, but I'm pretty sure it's at least around 2 months without him. So that's gonna suck, especially without having one young guy there. And then also one of your other young guys, Malik Monk, the shooting guard, who's been shooting very well, especially from three lately. But of course he has a groin strain and they're gonna keep him out and test him out next week. And hopefully they'll get some better news right before the season starts. But you never know with groins, they could be pretty pesky, but hopefully it's nothing too serious that keeps him out long. Then Chargers offensive lineman Oday Abushi, who they signed in the offseason for a 1-year deal, made the starting team, and he looks like he tore his ACL against the Browns on Sunday, which sucks. Luckily they picked up a pretty good guy that they've had for a couple years in Michael Schofield. He stepped in and did pretty decent, so it just sucks that, you know, they had to deal with another injury on their offensive line. And like I've been saying, they should make trades, but I heard they picked up a practice squad player from the San Francisco 49ers who used to work with the offensive line coach. So maybe he could be a good fit just because he knows the system, but we'll see, as I always say. Then get into some even worse news. USC did lose to Utah on Saturday, pretty bad fashion. For the last 3 home games, they've lost pretty much the similar score, a mid-40 score to 20-something. They try to come back and score 2 touchdowns late just to make it look less embarrassing, but I usually stop watching around the 4th quarter anyways. But yes, it's the first home loss to Utah. Utah has been pretty close. I know a handful of years they almost beat USC at home, but USC blocked the field goal attempt luckily, and it's always been a battle to win at Utah, but USC has gotten the better of them even there. But once again, they just got ran over. Bad defense. Even the offense stalls. I don't know how an offense that is based off of scoring multiple times and throwing the ball to the automatically open person. I don't think Slovis is the correct quarterback for this system. But they still keep having to go with him. A lot of people are wondering why they didn't put in the other freshman, Miller Moss, just to see what he can do, especially late in the game. But of course, Dante Williams said they were still trying to win the game at that point when really you're still down by 3 scores. So It's dumb to do that. They should get more of these freshmen in because they probably want to play more and, you know, will actually care about playing, unlike a lot of these older guys as of this moment. And yeah, when it comes to Drake London, he's been pretty crazy. He had another score, did great stats again, but as usual, it's not good enough. But they compared his stats to the Heisman Trophy winner of last year, Devontae Smith from Alabama. And he has a couple more receptions and about 100 more yards than Smith. I think they're tied on 4 touchdowns overall up to this point. But yeah, they're already saying he should be in the Heisman race. I don't mind that. I just think Smith had those numbers and was on the #1 team for the whole entire year. Drake London is doing it against not as good competition, and his team sucks record-wise as well. I don't even think they're going to get into a bowl game. I think as of right now, they're projected to be in the brand new Jimmy Kimmel Bowl in SoFi Stadium in LA, whatever that bowl is. But yeah, it's just pretty crazy that this guy is doing very well for USC. I honestly think at some point, if they still continue to lose, he might just stop playing and, you know, preserve himself for the NFL draft coming next season and, you know, worry about his career instead of going out there and maybe getting hurt and hurting his draft stock. So we'll see, but yeah, it's just crazy. Then both Westbrook and LeBron James finally played in the preseason the other day against Golden State. And it was without Anthony Davis, so we didn't get the big three, but they struggled pretty bad in the first quarter. A lot of turnovers. Even Westbrook played the next game and had a lot of turnovers again. He says luckily they don't count, but still, I just think it's going to take him a while. I know every place he's been to the past couple of times after OKC, first couple months are rough, and then all of a sudden everything clicks around before and after All-Star break, and his team could make the playoffs. So hopefully the Lakers will already be in playoff position, and then they'll just move up the board once he gets going. I believe tonight they have another preseason game, and all 3 of them will be playing for the first time together. So it'll be nice to see how that looks, at least for maybe a quarter, half a quarter. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that a little bit later on today. Then yeah, it was actually the other day, an exact 1 full year since the Lakers won the title last season, and yet it's technically been 2 seasons since then, since that title, which is freaking crazy. I don't know how the NBA did that, where they were able to play, well, actually, they haven't played 2 seasons, but will be the start of that 2nd season, so even that other Milwaukee team technically hasn't even been a year. But yeah, it's just crazy how not long it's been, but it's been a long time, and it feels like a long time, as always, for a Lakers fan if they don't win every other year pretty much. But yeah, hopefully they got the recipe to do something better this year. Then yes, the Duke Blue Devils have named their captains for the basketball team. One in Joey Baker, who's been there a while. He's a senior, and also one of the better juniors, supposedly, and Wendell Moore Jr., who he always gives me headaches because he has a lot of talent, especially when coming into Duke, but then just never really got better. He's just kind of been the same dude, and that's why he's still in school, because he hasn't gotten better and knows he's not going to get drafted. But great, we'll see how that goes. Then, yeah, sadly, another injury. Juju Smith-Schuster, the ex-USC and now Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver, left the game Saturday with a shoulder injury. They said it might be a couple weeks, but then they found out that he just needs shoulder surgery and will be out for at least 4 months. So he's definitely out for this season, which sucks. He is going to be a free agent next year as well. I know he went back to Pittsburgh because he thought they were going to do something special this year. It doesn't look like it. I know he had an opportunity to go to Kansas City, and Kansas City is really struggling right now with some of their wide receivers. So I hope he doesn't go there next offseason. Hopefully come home to LA, where he should have been all along if they would have listened to me and drafted him. But yes, that's how it goes. Then yes, the ex-USC wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. of the Colts went off on Monday night against the Ravens. I guess he wasn't expected to, but yeah, he had a big game. A lot of yards, definitely over 100 yards, had at least one touchdown. Maybe. I think it got called back, but yeah, he definitely had a lot of yards against a pretty good defense that the Chargers actually played this weekend. They played the Ravens, so that's another top matchup. It was the Browns were 3-1, so it was 2 3-1 teams with the Chargers. Now it's going to be 2 4-1 teams with the Ravens and the Chargers, but getting a little bit ahead of myself. So yes, the Chargers did beat the Browns on Sunday in one of the more exciting games of the weekend. Yeah, people will look back at that Green Bay and Cincinnati, but that's a lot of missed field goals. That was bad football, but this was high scoring, definitely back and forth. A lot of points scored in the fourth quarter. The final score was 47-42. Yes, many records were broken, especially I think it was like the one team to lose after scoring like 40 some odd points in the fourth quarter and having a big lead and still losing. I think that was the Browns. I think there was like a 400 and something record and 0. Every team had one except them, which is nice. And then yeah, Justin Herbert broke some more records and stuff, even to the point where he had like 427 total yards, passing and rushing. Had another 5 touchdown day, which is crazy, but also more importantly, no interceptions, which is definitely putting him in the race to be an MVP. Some guy, I forget what place it was, but he did say that Justin Herbert is his MVP front runner, which is not too shabby. He's definitely on one of the better teams. I think a lot more people might have Kyler Murray from Arizona, just because his team is still the only team that's undefeated, and he is the quarterback. So yeah, I think Murray might be the front runner. But yeah, overall, pretty nice weekend, even though USC lost. Chargers played a really good game, and plus I have Nick Chubb, the running back on the Cleveland Browns, who is in my fantasy football team, and he had like over 160 yards and a touchdown. So that's what I love about fantasy football, is you can still root for your guys, even though they're playing against your team, as long as your team gets the victory. But as long as they get stats, that's all you care about. And I got a double win, basically, which is nice. And I want to talk about something a little miscellaneous at the end right here. I discovered this new, I think I saw a commercial or some type of ad for it. It's a website called prizepicks.com. And you have a couple options. So you could choose like full game thing. So it'll show a stat of a player saying, oh, he's going to throw for 300 yards in the full game. And you only could choose over or under. So you think he's going to throw over, choose the over and bet your money. So in this scenario on this website, you choose 3 different players. So last night I decided to try it. I kind of waited till I was actually too late. The game had already started, so it only gave me the option to do the second half numbers, which actually worked out in my favor because I was able to see what the players did not do, and they show me the numbers of what they project after halftime. And I thought, well, hopefully this does become a good game and not a crappy game as it is so far. So they definitely have to get higher numbers. So I think it was Carson Wentz, the quarterback for the Colts, needed like 117.5 yards. And his team was up, but I kind of knew that they were going to have to fend off the Ravens, so I chose the over on that. And then Lamar Jackson was the team that was losing at the time, and yes, he is known for more running, but I knew they had to throw to be able to stay in the game, so he was projected like 138.5 yards in the second half, so I chose the over on that. And then the running back for the Colts, Jonathan Taylor, he had a pretty big game catching wise, but rushing, he wasn't doing that well, but it said he only needed like 37.5 for 2 quarters. So I'm like, let's just go the over. And then they also gave me some like promo money for that. So put in like $10 and they matched it. So all I did was bet $10 for 3 players, and I chose the over on each one. So if I won, I'd win a certain amount of percentage over what I bet. and luckily I was able to get all 3, which was nice. Barely getting the running back one by like 5 yards, but still counted. And I turned $10 into $22. So that was pretty cool. Not too shabby for one half of football, and it was still an entertaining game, which was nice too. I might still try it again, might not, might just cash out. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, definitely try to do it only for like the second half, so you could kind of cheat and see what's going on. You might not win as much money, but I guess it depends how much you bet. I don't like to bet that much money, so I'm only gonna have incremental wins like that, like very small ones, but it's pretty cool. Check it out. It's not a sponsor or nothing. I just thought it was pretty cool. And another thing too, yes, I actually bought a CD finally. It's like, I hate downloading songs and stuff off of like websites or even like iTunes or Amazon or I keep wanting to say team, but the band's website, because those files are gigantic files. I think they get them off of like IMAX and stuff, and each song is like 30 to 40 megabytes, which is crazy. Like, I need room for some other stuff, you know what I mean? So I was able to buy this CD, and it's pretty crazy how it comes in like, Condalong's gone way too crazy with this space stuff, so it comes in like what looks like a space thing that they put in their food and stuff. And yeah, I don't have the CD, it's in the car, but yeah, I just thought that was pretty crazy, finally buying like an actual CD in a long time. It's been quite a while, I think like 4 or 5 years since I've done that, but yeah, hardly ever do it. But yeah, I don't know why when you download files from artists off the internet that it takes up so much space. I found another way to go around that, but that's some other stuff I can't get into. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like, subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.